I just picked up the new Fantastic Four Lego set, and dude, it's actually freaking amazing. But what really grabbed me was the sensational parts selection. This is an amazing parts pack. In today's video, let's check out what pieces you get, and I'll give you some ideas for how you can use those pieces in your own custom Lego creations. Let's go. I do want to take a closer look at the set itself, by the way, because there is some great stuff going on here. But I'm going to share my thoughts with you at the end of the video, because oh, you better believe I have thoughts on this. Now, those pieces. I took this set apart and separated the magenta pieces and the dark blue pieces. And I mean, look at this. You get so much. Dark blue is one of those colors that's a little bit more rare. It's not super rare, but you certainly don't see it all that much. And magenta is probably one of the best looking colors that LEGO is currently producing. It's so vibrant and so punchy. It's a real treat to be given so much in the one set. Actually, why don't I show you some custom creations that use magenta in their color scheme? That way I can illustrate to you just how exciting it is to get so much of this color. Crownovi uses magenta on quite a wonderful mock. I mean, just look at how that magenta pops up against these muted tones of light and dark grey. And then it pairs perfectly with the white as well. It's stunning. And how good is this creation too? It's got wheels on its legs, it's got two shark heads for hands, and then you've got a head that's inside some sort of containment cylinder. This is so wacky and so zany. And when you've got a mock that leans into the wacky and the weird, well, I feel like magenta is just the perfect color to be using. I love that. Jafer also uses magenta on their fantastic dragon that's inspired by dragon fruit. I mean, this is a wonderful blend of colors and textures, and you know, it makes that dragon fruit inspiration so easily recognizable. What a perfect fit. And a Bionicle mock is also going to look amazing when you put in some magenta. Valhalla Mox shows us how that's done here on this revamp of Makuta Icarax. Yeah, that inky, shadowy black color scheme. It's perfectly contrasted with this very bright and jovial color. It's just so in your face, I love it. See man, that's the power of magenta. It's a great color. And yeah, getting so many parts in this great color is more than enough reason to pick up this set. But when we dive in a little deeper, oh, you better believe it gets better and better. One highlight from this magenta pile are these fancy new 1x2 tiles with a notch on the end. I've actually not had a chance to mess around with these pieces myself, but oh man, they're so cool. And also, so are these mechanical arm pieces. You know, honestly, I think I would be bold enough to say that this is one of, if not the best piece that LEGO has ever made. It's so easy to use in so many ways, and I don't think I've seen a single mock that uses this part that doesn't look good. One example, of course, is this exact set. These look amazing as posable fingers. Fingers which, by the way, are exclusive to this set. This is the first time we've seen this piece appearing in magenta. How exciting. But I want to show you now a plethora of mocks that use these pieces. Because when I say they're versatile, I definitely mean it. Velociraptor uses two of these pieces for little teeny tiny arms and hands. You know, most times these parts are used, they're kind of flipped the other way around. So what a good idea to change things up and use the clip as little itty bitty fingers. Very nice. Mike Neves also uses heaps of these in white on this mock of Rapidash. The whole neck design here strings together a bunch of these pieces, and doing so creates a very fluid and organic and quite natural curvature that replicates horse anatomy flawlessly. Dude, these pieces always look good on creature builds. And they also look pretty good on character builds as well. Check out how Mathadrone has used them here. You string them together and you form this very nice suit blazer of sorts. And actually, if you look a little closer, you'll notice that the face also uses a couple of these parts as well. See man, these are the best. Getting so many of these in a brand new color is a dream come true. Let's say goodbye to magenta for now, and instead we'll focus on some of the lovely dark blue pieces. You get a nice helping of wedges and curved slopes in dark blue. Check out how Kubamox has used some of these parts on a revamp of Hully. We can see a few of these here on the waist. It's a very nice design. We've also got a couple on each of the legs. It's a good way to add in a little bit of detail. And the arms even use some of these too. Look at that, so many uses, all here on the one mock. Also included here are some of these delightful Nexo tiles. Framan Yaman uses them on a truly mighty warrior. You'll see some of these here up on the shoulders. But what I like about this is that they're perfectly paired with a bunch of other pieces that share a very similar shape and texture. You know, like these flag pieces. We've also got some more of those curved slopes that I was talking about before, and all kinds of other stuff too. I don't know, man, there's something about that Nexo tile piece. It just looks truly exquisite, doesn't it? I also quite enjoy these wedge pieces here in dark blue. On the set, they're used as some quite snazzy looking shoulder armor. I mean, that's a great design in itself, but also, this design by Eero Okanonen is quite impressive. The rather funky texture of this piece does wonders for this mock. Ah yes, and this set also boasts a plethora of these different ratchet joints, ball and socket pieces, and other kind of limb elements. These are of course used to create the limbs and the torso on Galactus himself. If you're looking to build your own character build, these pieces are invaluable. But even if you're looking to build a creature build, you're gonna need some of these too. Like this mock of the Pokemon Dialga. We can see some here on both the upper and lower legs. And the beautiful thing about these pieces is that they are designed to allow for a lot of posability. So if you're someone that likes to put posability on your mocks, then these pieces are for you. Dude, we are just scratching the surface of the pieces that come in this set. There's so many other exceptional pieces that I haven't even spoken about yet. That in itself is a sign that this is an amazing parts pack. I recommend picking this up for pieces, but you know what? I also recommend picking this up as a set itself. Let me share my thoughts on this set now. Is it any good? Or is it maybe a little bit flawed? Let's discuss. So we've seen a few sets appearing in this new style of constructible action figures. And we've certainly seen a lot of them from the superhero line. Each one of them has been great, in my opinion. But they do have their flaws. The heads, sometimes don't really translate and look a little bit odd. And at times the posability can be limited, or you get a few exposed parts on the limbs. And it just doesn't quite look right. But actually, Galactus, he fixes a lot of the previous issues that we had in these sets. The face design, for example, it's simple, it's elegant, but it works. And in my opinion, I don't think this is creepy at all. It looks just like the original source material in the comics, and I'm sure it's going to look very similar to how it appears in the Fantastic Four movie. And I tell you what, man, that helmet was so much fun to build. Taking a look at the arms, we can see that the joints here are nicely covered up, which looks great. The underside, of course, still does show the actual joint, but when there's that pink backing on that panel behind it, I don't know, it doesn't look bad anymore, it looks great. I love how they've achieved this design, it's very simple but very clever. And then the way that the waistcoat just neatly wraps around the legs. Brilliant. You can still get a good amount of posability here with this, and I like how much of the legs it covers up. Oh yeah, and then this knee design. The way that Nexo tile beautifully flows into those two wedge pieces. It's so much fun to look at and a lot of fun to play with. What a fantastic way of bridging the upper and lower leg. So yeah man, all of those past issues are not an issue on this set. But of course the best thing about this, it just looks so good. LEGO knocked it out of the park on this one. Something else that's great is Galactus includes a lot of different attachment points that allow you to place the minifigures all over his body. This way it looks like he's fighting the Fantastic Four, and that's so good. The fact that you can turn this character build into a bit more of a display piece, one that looks fresh out of the pages of a comic book, all the good guys fight the bad guy, that's a real treat, and we've not really seen something like that before. I'm not a massive fan of how the Thing and Mr. Fantastic are placed on the feet. When you remove them, you've got this pin that's sticking out there, it just looks a little bit off. And I feel like the feet are just that little bit too big. But I don't know, I don't think this is that big of a deal. It's not my favorite part of the toy, but that's fine, everything else is frickin' fantastic. Oh, I said fantastic and it... Okay. Oh yeah, and these figures, amazing. I've been waiting years for LEGO to make Fantastic Four figures. They were probably at the top of my wanted list. And they're finally here. And I think they deliver. Reed Richards looks amazing. I don't think they totally nailed Pedro Pascal's likeness, but I think it's close enough. It works, and I like it. He does actually have a subtly different torso to his other family members. When we move over to Sue's Storm, you'll notice that she has that white around the top of the torso. Reed doesn't have that, which appears to be accurate to the movie. Looking at Sue now, yeah, she does reuse an older existing face piece from previous sets. But honestly, I don't really mind that because this actually does look a lot like Vanessa Kirby. They did a great job here. Johnny Storm is a bit of a similar story, reusing an old head, but yeah, it looks a lot like Joseph Quinn. The Thing is fine. The head works well and certainly captures his likeness. But I do think that the eyebrows are just that little bit too big. They protrude off of the face just a little bit too much. It makes the transition between the bottom of the head and the top just that little bit more jarring. Of anything, I feel like this looks a little bit less like Rock and more like a large brain coming out of his head, like the leader in Marvel. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it still gets the job done. I don't mind it too much. There has been a lot of discourse in the community as to whether or not the Thing should have been a big fig. There's many times he goes toe-to-toe with some heavy hitters in the Marvel universe, like the Hulk, for example. People wanted something like these custom figures. I've also seen fans who were a little bit disappointed that Johnny wasn't flamed up like this figure is, and some people wanted an invisible woman. And sure, yeah, I think I wanted that too. But I'm actually very grateful that these figures appeared as they currently do, because there's something so iconic about their signature Fantastic Four blue and white costumes. I really wanted to see these signature costumes brought to life somehow in LEGO, and I'm glad we got them. And plus, we know that these characters are going to appear in Avengers Doomsday, and probably in Secret Wars as well. And LEGO's going to make sets for those movies. So I'm sure we're going to get these figures all powered up, invisible, on fire, or as big figs in those sets. We get them depowered now, we'll get them powered up later. Most likely. I still do want that big fig thing though. But people have pointed out that if you look at some of the stills in the trailer, the Thing is kind of the same size as everyone else. A big fig kind of doesn't make sense, actually. Still, give me a comic accurate version of the Thing as a big fig and I'll be so happy. So all in all, I think this is the best Marvel constructible action figure we've ever got. And I think the set frickin' rocks. I highly recommend picking this up for the pieces and for the set itself. But what do you guys think? Do you like this set? Do you reckon you're going to pick it up for pieces? And have you got some mocks in mind already? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.